picture of everybody here. Pee-wee. Hey Bill, you're gonna be on TV. I said you're gonna be on our television.
Watch the birdie, Mr. Mang. Get Hoyt, get Hoyt. Hoyt to stand.
Hey, Big Dave.
Take a pic of Susan and
Come
Arlen.
on, Jenny, give us a smile. Come on, my grandmother wants this in her scrapbook. Put a videotape on the scrapbook. I don't know. She really wants to see this.
Our meeting will be coming up this Tuesday night. We will be electing new officers for the coming year. And to go over the slate that we have at the present time, I'll just read off the names. We would encourage those of you who could come on Tuesday night to please join us and, as I say, get involved with the organization and help support the new officers. John Nail is being nominated for president. We have 3 people for vice president: Madeline Rogers, Doug Miller, Tina Glover. Secretary is Susan Nurse and Kathy Spalding, and treasurer is John Mabry. Again, I'd like to thank all of you for attending tonight, for helping to share in this event. And other than saying that Diane and I have really enjoyed working with the band in the years that we've spent, I'll turn it back to Bud. Thank you.
Thank you, Chuck. There are some other people that we should also acknowledge. He mentioned John Neal, Mrs. Rogers, Mrs. Miller, and different ones. But behind the scenes, we have other people too numerous to mention. There is someone that has done a tremendous job this year, and we needed a concession stand. We didn't have one. He spent hours building it. He spent hours putting the thing up, taking it down. And he's a little bit on the shy side, but he should really stand up because he has done a lot of things this year, and that's Larry Rogers. Larry, stand up. Anytime and every time that we've needed anything done, Larry's been there to help out. Next fellow that I'm going to introduce to you this evening, everyone in the room should know. About 2 weeks ago, we had some signs made like you see up here in the top and over here with computer papers, and we placed them up on the announcement booth up in the football booth. And one of them said, "Big fella." And I walked down, this fellow looked up and he said, "Who that?" He said, "That's me." I'd like to introduce to you a man that has done a lot with the band this year, Mr. Bill Minnie. Well, good evening. Okay, you'll have to excuse me, I'm in my permanent state of disorganization here. But I'll tell you, as time went on through the season and the season progressed, I didn't get much more organized, but the Band-Aids really organized me quick, and especially Madeline Rogers. I have to send out a lot of personal thanks to her. She's like a personal secretary at times, and it's really something the way she helped us out this year. I'm really proud of that. I'm just kind of going to go by my little sheet here that Madeline typed up for me. It says, "What to do."
I can't go wrong. And first thing I'd like to do, though, is introduce my top-notch staff that has helped us throughout the season over some rocky starts at the beginning, but as things turned out, it all came for the better. And they're a tough group of people, and they're kind of a young group of people as I look at them now, but that's not to say they don't know what they're doing. And I think that was proved throughout the season. Now if I can only remember their names. First of all, I'd like to introduce my right-hand person and also my fiancée, Miss Tammy Henry, who helped us with marching, movement, and drum major training. And I have to get used to sitting at this head table because they said I'm going to be doing it again in July, so just don't try to tap your cup or anything. I'm not ready for that yet. It's wedding, you know, it was a joke. Yeah. Okay, moving right along. Second in line there, we have our assistant directors and all-around helpers this year, Karen Koyak and Dwayne Paul. Karen's a new face in the district as well. She was hired this year? Last year? This year? Yeah, last year. Yeah, this is her second year in the district. She teaches at Riverview Elementary, and Dwayne's, well, I guess I can't say an old face in the district, but Dwayne's just another face in the district, and he's been here quite a while. They've helped me out a whole lot. Okay, and also heading up and assisting our band front operations was Jennifer Ann Koyak. Okay. Did I forget anybody? And, I'm sorry, I did forget somebody. Karen Koyak's better half, Mr. Dave Koyak, who has also helped with music. Sorry about that, Dave. Okay. Also, two very important people who have helped us out through the season, kind of in a behind-the-scenes way, but were obviously very important to the proper operation of this marching band. First of all, Mr. and Mrs. Howard Lehman. They would stand, please. And finally, a man who did put in a ton of time this year behind the scenes and gave me a whole lot of insight into just what this job entails and really helped me out a ton, and that's Mr. Bob English and his wife. Okay, next on the agenda here, I'd like to introduce this year's OMB officers. These are 4 people who took care of business for me and really helped the group out in a lot of ways. And the president of the OMB this year was Tina McGinnis. How about Tina coming up? We've got a little plaque for each of our officers, which was donated for them. And this says, OMB President Tina McGinnis, 1986. Okay, second in line to the president is our vice president, and that's Melanie Spence. Melanie will come up. Melanie was also our dance line captain this year and did a terrific job with her. And our secretary this year was Sherry Steele. Sherry. least in the officers for the OMB was our historian, who did a terrific job putting together one of our picture pictorials over there. And this is Mary Picknell. Hello, Mary. Mary was also one of our big morale leaders this year. She did a real good job. Okay, moving right along. You notice I said okay before I start everyone. Teachers aren't supposed to do that. I've been told that. So I won't do that anymore. Bob's probably going to write me up for this. The introduction of our drum majors. These two people, when they were chosen last year, I expected a lot from them, but I never expected what came from them. And that was, I really have to say, very close to perfection every time these people got in front of the band. And that includes practices. I thought as far as attitude and carrying along the esprit de corps of the group, and especially when they were in uniform and in front of the group, these two really put it all together. The training that they had at the beginning of the year and at camp really paid off for these two. And that was evidenced by the taking of Best Drum Major, I think, in 2 competitions, is that right? Yeah. So that's a lot to say when you have, on the average of about 15 drum majors at each competition, and these kids competing against these people. I just really have to say they came so close to perfection. I mean, perfection is something that's almost unattainable, but these two came very close, and that's Sean Jones and Kim Slater. Depend on them to do a lot, and at times I remember getting a little hot under the collar when they weren't right there when I needed them, but they turned out to be just excellent drum majors. I'm really happy with them. I have a plaque for both of you guys. Okay, I did it again, darn it. Moving right along. Introduce another person who, if I had to have 3 right hands, it would be these people. Kim, Sean, and also Kevin Harbison, who is our commanding officer this season. Now, a lot of people didn't understand at the beginning of the year. I said, I want to have a commanding officer. And they said, well, we've never had a commanding officer, Mr. Mink. What are you talking about? Well, we finally decided what a commanding officer was. And, well, I did it somewhere along the line. I don't know. I'm just making this up. Don't worry. But seriously, the commanding officer of this group was, first of all, to act as somewhat of a liaison between the group and myself if there were any personal problems or anything that needed to be attended to. And Kevin kind of kept an eye on the group and watched over and just kind of kept everybody in line, made sure everything was running smoothly. And also, he was sort of a morale leader. And he always knew when to have a cheer. And I'm sure that in the back of his mind, somewhere, he has a cheer ready for tonight. He wants a couple minutes. Well, okay, we'll give you. All right. But in the meantime, we have another gift for you. And this is to Kevin from his parents. So why don't you take a look at that? While you're thinking of a cheer, why don't you take a look? See what you want to open that now? Yeah. You're supposed to open that now. And he's running the show. He's worried about the pressure we're putting on him. He loves it.
I'd just like to say thanks to my parents for bringing me into this world, and all the little people who really made me what I am today.
All right. He said the cheer will come to him, so probably in the middle of something he'll just burst out cheering and you'll know when it came to him. Okay, moving. Did it again? Bob, I'm sorry. I know I'm not supposed to say okay before I say anything. I'll work on it. Yeah. The intro of OMB captains. See, I'm reading right off the list. I can't go wrong. It says right here. Our drumline captain this year was under a lot of pressure. We had a lot of first-year people in the drumline who were literally beginners. And he kind of took him under his arm, really helped him out. Always kept his chin up when times were tough. And there were a couple tough moments there when I wasn't quite sure that things would work out as well as they did. But it turned out to be a really good drum line this year, and I think it's going to be an even better and terrific drum line in the future, especially under the leadership of Robert Nurse. Rob ended up teaching me a lot about percussion and fixing drums and all these other different things, and he's real familiar with a lot of what goes on in drum lines, so he really did a terrific job. I'm looking forward to working with him next year. Yeah, I forgot. You're supposed to open this in front of everyone and get embarrassed, just like the rest of us, okay?
Did it again.
This was from the drum line, right, this gift?
Yeah.
From the drum line to Rob?
Yeah.
Wrapped in authentic Budweiser paper.
All the names of all the people that are
Okay. It's embarrassing. You see why I'm not a talk show host. There's nothing in there. Our dance line captain, who I did introduce earlier as an OMB officer, is Melanie Spence. Would you stand up again, Mel? Thank you. Another person who did a terrific job for us this year, and again, I learned as much from these kids as they learned from me. Each band is different. I mean, I've been with a lot of marching bands and seen a lot of them and worked with a lot of them, but each one's different, and you just have to pick it up from the kids about how things go on. And I still haven't gotten everything down. But as time goes on, I'm sure I'll learn the ropes. And the best thing is to have a good group of students, responsible students, who are willing to tell you the ropes. And this person really helped me out in that respect. That's Evelina Rogers, a rifle captain. Moving right along, that's in place of okay. Our SIL captain this year, I do have to say something about this person too. At the beginning of the season, I think if you look in your program, I think the biggest number of one-year people is in our band front. And they have just come a tremendous distance since the beginning of the year. And at the end of the year, I honestly have to say, after overlooking all the other bands and seeing all the other silk lines, that and in my heart, I really feel that we had the best silk line out there this season. And that's true. I think a lot of the reason for that is behind our silk captain, and that's Leanne Dixon. Leanne? I have to get my briefcase for this next one. In this briefcase, which I've had chained to my wrist for 3 weeks, is the results of a vote. That vote was for these 5 trophies. No one has seen the results until now. This, by the way, is the bottomless briefcase, and many things have taken a walk through inside this briefcase. This actually is a paper with the number of votes on it that I counted on, so the original right here. Witness. Well, as God is my witness, that'll work here. Announcing the winner. Now, these people were chosen by the rest of the band in a private ballot, and I think the results speak for themselves. We give 5 awards every year, and these are the awards. We give an award for the best band front rookie, the first-year person that we feel contributed the most in morale, spirit, and in their talents. We give a Best Musician Rookie Award to that musician we feel has contributed as well with the best of his or her talents and morale. A Most Improved Rookie, who we feel started off the year in a very questionable state, but ended up the year as a true trooper and really came through at the end. We also give a Best Band Front Award. This is to the vet that the students feel gave the most during the year and really helped out the section. And we give a Best Musician Award to the band, to the vet. Okay. Again, you're counting these. I know you are. Something. The Best Band Front Rookie Award goes to, well, ripple of drums here, Shannon Schaefer. Yeah, Shannon. But she's not here, so we'll just... Does anyone want to accept it for Shannon?
He's going to do this. Chip will.
Chip? I don't know if I should trust you, Chip. Accepting the Best Band Front Rookie Award for Shannon Schaefer is Chip Banks. That's how they do it on television.
No speech?
All right. Next up
front.
is our Best Musician Rookie. Let me find that one on here. And this goes to, with overwhelming votes, Miss Stacy Spalding. Stacy was one of our keyboard players this season, and she did a terrific job. And the next award goes to the Most Improved Rookie. And I don't think there was any doubt in anyone's mind who this went to. A man who's so cheerful that words cannot begin to express this man's attitude towards the OMB. He's been enlightening, cheerful, and happy throughout the year. Yes, Mr. Arlen Owen. I don't think I've ever seen Arlen even begin to pout or frown. The man has a permanently emitted smile. That's perfect. Arlen was one of those guys that on his tennis shoes you had to mark L over on this side, R over on this side. And then he'd wear them backwards just to mess you up. No, he did a terrific job. I'm just kidding you, Arlen, you know that, really. All right. Now, moving into our two veteran awards. These are very important awards because this is how the student body feels, and I think you'll find that it's in keeping with the way the season went this year. Our Best Band Front Award for a veteran goes to Mary Picknell. Mary doesn't pop very much either. She's been a real go-getter all season long, and I'm just about to wrap up the awards. And our last award goes to the best musician in the band, as chosen by the band students themselves. And this person exemplifies good talent, good morale, esprit de corps, the whole bit. Everything that makes a good citizen. And that person is Kevin Harbison. Now normally, we don't put officers and these people in the position to accept these awards. But I'm not going to argue with the band. They voted for him, and as it turns out, Kevin got a whole lot of votes by the group. So you've got a lot of support out there, Kevin. I think we're ready for a cheer. He doesn't want the microphone. Probably hear him. One last thing, and Madeline, I'm just slipping this in. So, you're not prepared for this, okay? Just stand by. This season meant a lot to me in another respect, being that it was my first year here with the OMB. Things just took a turn for the better as things went on. I never expected such a terrific season. And one of the things that made that season so terrific was that the OMB band front overcame a lot of problems in the beginning and really put their best foot forward and came away with 2 Best Band Front awards. That is a terrific accomplishment when you consider the amount of bands we competed against. Approximately 22 bands in this area that were competing with Lakeshore sanctioned shows. And the amount of people that put in the amount of time that went into preparing a band front routine. And I think our staff, Mr. Mark Donnell, who was our advisor this year, Mrs. Karen Koyak, and Ms. Jennifer Ann Koyak, did such a terrific job. It was brought to my attention that the band front hasn't won an individual band front award for 5 years. And so this year, to take 2 of them was a terrific goal and a terrific accomplishment, and I think we all need to give them a hand, and Jennifer's going to come up and say something.
years in high school and 4 in college and never once ever picked up a flag until I came here this fall and we didn't have a band for an advisor or someone to work with the girls and teach them the drill. So I thought, well, I'll give it a try. And by the end of the season, I could do front spins and flutters, which I never knew even existed before I came. So I just want to thank the girls for being so patient. I know it was hard trying to teach me everything and then having me help you. And all the mothers, especially too, the parents that helped me learn everything that had to go on. Mrs. Rogers and Mrs. Harbison really helped me deal with the problems we had to face. So thank you, everybody.
One other thing I forgot. This will be short, really. I'm starting to run on here. For those band parents that helped us out so much throughout the year, I'm not going to individually introduce you all because this room is full of them, and that would really take a long time. But this season, I just don't think could have gone on as smoothly without the help of these band aid members. And I really want to somehow thank each and every one of those. So, for each of those people, I do have the official Harry L. Dinkle Band Booster Award, which I will present to you later. And I'd like to read this to you. The official Harry L. Dinkle Band Booster Award. For those of you who are not familiar with Harry L. Dinkle, he is the greatest band director in the world. And he'll tell you that too. He runs a marching band called the Marching Scapegoats in Everyday's paper under Funky Winky. A typical tongue tie by Mr. Baker here. Funky Wicker Bean, thank you. This is what it says. The person, whoever it may be, is hereby noted, pun intended, for service above and beyond the outrageous demands of the band director, if that's possible, without loss of cheerful disposition or good looks, as an outstanding band booster for the fantastic Oiler Marching Band, presented without remuneration on this day, so-and-so, as it goes on. So the Harry L. Dinkle Band Booster Award, yes, you will receive one. Thank you, band aids. And now, is it time? Okay. For this, right? All right. We have a special gift for each one of our band members. That's each one. So, as I call you out, I'm going to call your name and the number of years of service you have in the Oiler Marching Band. Years of service, I don't know if that sounds right. Just years in the Oiler Marching Band. And we're going to start with the flute section. So the flute section would come up here, come around to this side aisle here, and we'll get you. Good deal. Andy Callahan, 1 year. Janet Cochran, 2 years. Dina Keebler, 1 year. Shannon Koch, 3 years. Sue Marsh, 3 years. Becky Smith, 2 years. How about after each section, giving these people a round of applause? In the clarinet section, we have Sharon Cochran with 3 years, Tracy Drake with 3 years, Jessica Riddle with 2 years, Holly Wiltanger with 1 year, and Rhonda Winger with 3 years. large baritone section this year. Our trombone section this year, who I have to say really did a tremendous job. They really wailed for us out there in the field. Russ Buchanan with 1 year. Kim McDonald with 5 years, a 5-year member. Andy Miller with 2 years. And Ann Bush with 2 years. Our tuba section leader, Andy Riley, and our only tuba in the event. Our tremendous saxophone section, Amy Coles, 3 years. Jeff Mabry, 3 years. John Miller, 5 years in the band. Jason Steele, 1 year, and Sue Schruffler, 5 years in the band. Our mellophone section, Jason Mabry, with 2 years. By the way, in the bulletin, or our program here, under soloists, I'd like to make a correction. The Shinedown soloist was Jason Mabry on the mellophone, and Mike Drozdo had the trumpet solo in Pagliacci this season. Thank you. Our trumpet section, who out of the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 people there, 5 were first-year members, which really goes to say a lot about our section. They really came through this year, and we also had some good experience in that section. Kevin Harbison, 4 years. Joseph Goffman, 1 year. Robert Doverspike, 1 year. Mike Drozdo, 3 years. Also a soloist with the OMB. Joe Glover, 2 years. Chris Filio, 1 year.
Hi, Mom.
Vicky Leckie, 1 year. And Chip Banks, 1 year. Perfect section. No doubt in my mind, I think we're going to have a terrific trumpet section next year too. Our drum majors this year, kind of hard to beat. Both of them have 5 years experience in the OMB. Sean Jones and Kim Slater. Our drum line this season, as I said, overcame a lot of hardships, but really put forth a tremendous amount of effort, and really have good leadership in the group with 5-year member Robert Lewis. Stephanie Marsh, 2 years. Christy Benninger, 2 years. Darren Crabtree, 1 year. Marge DeDominic, 3 years. Mike Downing, 1 year. Cindy Hartzell, 2 years. Jason Schiffer, 2 years. Stacy Spaulding, 1 year. Chantal Morale, 1 year. Chantal is also our exchange student from the Netherlands, is that right? The Netherlands. And Ken, this is the first time I'm going to say your name correctly, so we're here at this time. Ken Yamakoshi. Ken is an exchange student from Japan. Is that right? Japan? Okay. For some reason, Ken, I knew it wasn't the Ukraine. You know? Moving right along. Robert Long, 1 year. Joshua Wilson, 1 year. And Julia McPetridge, 1 year. Terrific bloodline section. Our next section, certainly one of the most awesome sections I've seen in the Lakeshore Marching Band Association, and I think one with the most experience. The rifle section with Evelina Rogers, captain, 3 years. Carrie Arnold, 3 years. Mary Pickna, 3 years. Jennifer Proper, 3 years. Julie Reynolds, 3 years. Michelle Smith, with 4 years. And Sherry Steele, with 2 years. A terrific rifle line. Our silk line, one of the main factions that helped us bring home 2 Best Band Front awards this season, under the leadership of Leanne Dixon, captain, 3 years. Candy Peltz, 1 year. Missy Brzezinski, 2 years. Sharon Graff, 1 year. Amy Rodkin, 2 years. Cinda Rhodes, 2 years. Shannon Schaefer, 1 year. Lori Shelgren, 1 year. Kathy Sprohar, 1 year. Chris Watson, 1 year. And Melissa Wilson, 2 years. Our silk line. Our dance line this year, again, part of our Best Band Front awards this season. Couldn't have done it without them. Under the direction of Melanie Spence, captain, 2 years. Cindy Minarski, 1 year. Jennifer Dale, 3 years. Amy Ellis, 1 year. Amy Melnick, 2 years. Chris Pearson, 3 years. Leslie Rhodes, 2 years. And Deanna Turner, 1 year. Our dance line. Last but not least, the people who help every competition and every band show here during half times run smoothly, and that's our managers. Tammy Myers, 1 year. Reagan Thompson, 2 years. Misty Hines, 1 year. Julie Brzezinski, 1 year. Missy Wilmer, 1 year. Michelle Montgomery, 1 year. Bill Cochran, with 4 years in the band. Jim Weaver, 1 year. Jim would have been one of our trumpet players this year, but he got taken away from us for a while during intensive weeks, so he did want to help out the group and become a manager, and he did a terrific job. Brad Wilson with 2 years. Kim Rogers, 2 years. Don Weller, 1 year. And Matt Holquist with 3 years. That's our managers. And last but not least, I'd like to recognize that group within the OMB who means a lot to me because they did so much this season in keeping the morale up and in teaching the rookies what it's all about and what commitment is and just what it takes to be a member of the OMB family. It takes a whole lot. After I counted up the hours, I was really surprised when it came to 250 hours that we have all put in. And that's a rounded number. I'm sure that it's actually higher than that when you count traveling time for mom and dad, which goes into all that. There's a ton of hours, folks. But I can honestly say, being in this Oiler Marching Band is something that'll stay with you for a long, long time. Both in what you learned as far as self-discipline and commitment to one goal. If there's anything that I think all of us need to learn, and I'm sure the adults have learned by now, is that to get anything done, you have to be committed to it. And in order to be the best you can, it's hard to pull out enough self-discipline to do that, to stick with one goal. And that goal with the OMB was to be the best we could be this year. And I think every competition we went to, we sold ourselves to the best possibly way we could. We did our best at each one of them, as evidenced by our rise in scores. If you look at our competition grading there, I think each halftime we provided very good support for the football team, which I have to say they needed this year. We didn't practice a lot of victory marches, but the one we did, I was real proud of. And this group embodies the spirit of the OMB. They've been in the OMB before, and I think they'll probably be in bands when they leave here. And after they are in those bands, they'll either lead their own bands, or they'll lead their employees, or they'll lead their families to a very successful and happy life. And I think a lot of that will stem from the experience they've received here. And those are our seniors. I'm just going to go down, and if I miss anybody, you just stand right up and tell me that I missed you, because it just means a mistake that we made here. In the flute section, Shannon Koch and Tina McGinnis. But you can stand up and take some applause here, folks. In the trombone section, Kim McDonald. In the saxophone. In the trumpet section, Kevin Harbison and Mike Drozdo. Our drum majors both, Charlie Kim. In the drum line, Christy Benninger, Marge DeDominic, Chantal Morale, and Ken Yamakoshi. In our rifle line, Carrie Arnold and Michelle Smith. In our dance line, Chris Pearson. Managers, Reagan Thompson, Bill Cochran, and Brad Wilson. Is there anyone that was missed? Yeah, we got them all. Good job. All right. What's next? I'm done.
The reason I do that is that Mrs. I can't even think of her name. Rogers also gave me one of those little slip of papers to tell me when to do what. Won't be long now we'll have Thanksgiving and Christmas, and all these things kind of go hand in hand, and just think tonight we could have had another football game. It would have been nice to be in here. Those of you that attended the football games this year have been rather long in some cases. We've been attending functions that the band's been going to. Now it seems like 10 years. It's a good many years, and we've been here 3 years, and I think we've only missed 2 functions. During that period of time, we have seen a lot of activity. The band-aids have done a lot of things. Somebody else that I would like to mention tonight, and that's the sponsors that sponsored the different functions that the band-aids have had during this year. Henry's Riverside. Henry's Riverside let us have car washes over there. 3 of them, I believe. And this netted the band well over $500. Now this is the type of thing that really means a lot to the band this year, carrying on functions throughout next year and years that are coming up. One more time, would all the seniors at one time stand up so that all the other band members may see who is going out this year? All the seniors. Let's give them a quick hand. They're going out, someone's going to replace them. We're going to have younger people coming in. And like Bill mentioned earlier, band experience will last with all of these young people for the rest of their lives. One other person, we're going to get into this gag thing. The reason I mentioned Christmas New Year coming, each thing goes along, and the gag gift comes right after homemade sauerkraut. We're just right about into that season right now. So we've got some gag gifts coming up, and I asked a little bit earlier, and I didn't understand what the name was, but the gal that's a foreign student, I believe her name is Chantel Morel. If there's any cake back here, for those of you that didn't go to some of the functions, she loves icing. Yeah. When you have cake, she can't get enough of it. So if there's any cake back here, make sure she gets a great big piece of cake with a big rose on it. Then earlier tonight I said to my daughter, who's that young fellow that's always in the band? Pee Wee Miller? She said, oh, don't say that because he doesn't like that. Oh, John, so first gag gift, if you will. John, would you come up here? I see him at every function, and like I say, we have Misty with him, and I always see him with a hat on. Here's one for him. The next time, when you think no one's going to see you, I want you to get back and so you go ahead and talk. Karen, I heard you mention a little while ago that you learned about fluttering this year, and all these things I've seen, I've never been able to flutter. If you would, after this is all over, would you show me how to do it? Now for gag gifts, like I mentioned before, those who want to present gag gifts, and we have some people that are eagerly waiting to do this little performance. If you get a gag gift, open it up here.
Yeah.
Not yours?
Yeah.
So you're getting other gifts? Okay. We'll let them give their gifts first, and then we'll get into the gag gifts.
Sorry about that. We have some gifts for, well, let's start out with Mrs. Rogers first. Mrs. Rogers, would you come up here, please? I did some quick shopping yesterday. Mrs. Rogers, some of us shopping for some other gifts. I did some shopping for her. I think I should take some time to say that Mrs. Rogers has helped us out so much.
We can't hear you. What?
All right, I'll talk a little louder. Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
Mrs. Rogers was at all of the performances, the football games, the parades, the competition. And I should have gotten her a box of safety pins because she was constantly pinning our contest. She was such a sweetheart. And I just would really like to thank you. she helped the band front out last year. Last year she helped out the drill team, but this year, because of our sort of complications at the beginning of the season, she sort of took over the band front. And she had, I don't know how to say it, but she was under so much pressure, and I think she did a great job. And I was so happy when we got Best Band Front, because I owe it to Jenny. She's the sweetest person. I love her. We didn't get Jenny. We're lying? No, wait a second. Jenny, remember on September 27th, I think it was? Where I was like, I don't want to go out there, I can't do this. It was Music in All Country, if you don't remember the date. I don't think I even did. Well, Jenny was there and saying, oh, it'll be fine, you can do it, you can handle it. So Jenny, I did. After every sentence that I say, I want everyone to shout what is sort of the unofficial band motto, which is go for it. If you want me to continue. How do we have fun? How do we have a fun dance after the dinner? How do we recognize people that need recognized? How will we win all the competitions next year? If we want to make the band leader really proud, we tell him to. And if we want to give him the game plan to succeed, we tell him to. Mr. Mink, the game plan when to win all the competitions next year is on the trophy table. Will you please go over and get it? It's wrapped on the front quarter. Now come up front and open it.
Go for it. The game where you can have it all.
It's been a long year, and we started off, and it's been a long year, and once again, it's been a long year, and it seems like we've all stuck together through thick and thin, no matter how down we are after a practice or anything. It seems like everything always goes back up to its highest peak. We finally reached our highest peak at Fairview, and I'm really proud of all of you, but someone we really have to thank is Mr. Mink. He's been there every time we need him. He's great. What else can we say about him? Can't really say thank you.
Mr. Mink, of all the times and said, you guys have to be the first ones off the bus. Well, I'm trying, Mr. Mink, honest. Oh, shut up. Anyway, on behalf of the seniors, we'd like to thank you and present you with this gift. So, hurry up. Go. Puzzle. 3, 2, open it.
For your car. Well, I buy those stinky Garfields not every year. And your car really stinks. You've never been in my car, thank God. I just love Garfield, and this is going to make a great addition to my nice living room. Thank you.
An opportunity to take up a minute to Mr. Mink. These who've gotten the gift. Seniors, out.
Thank you, seniors. I love you.
It's always amazing when you get up in front of a group of people. You're standing there and you're looking at someone and you're like your brother or sister and you've known them for several years and all of a sudden you forget who they are. That does happen. Mr. Minky did forget one thing here. We'll send that down. I think that's his report card. Now I'd like to ask Chuck Harvison to go back up again. He's got a couple more gifts to give out. Mrs. Rogers, people's always great.
I've just been informed that the press is here to take a picture. All of the ones that won the trophies, the rookies, the officers, and the captains and drum majors are out in the hallway to get a picture this time. Please take your awards with you. I would just like to take a moment here to give out 4 more little gifts. On behalf of the Banquet organization, we do have 3 little gifts to give out. Dave Koyak, Karen Koyak, and Mr. Paul. Would you please come up here just a moment, please? And on behalf of the Harbison family, we've sort of lived on buses and we've traveled around, and we've had a real good and a very enjoyable season with Bill. An event did take place. Not very many of you know about this, but there was a little celebration before one of the band adventures, and I have something on behalf of the Harbisons that I would like to give to Bill this time.
Picture of a chubby guy that has a real good laugh.
There's a little note on here. Snoopy is saying, happiness is a happy band director. Way to go.
Now we've had all the seniors stand up. What we'd like to have is all the other band members that are not seniors, if they would stand up. Let's give a big hand. You are in charge of carrying on a tradition, and I know you will do a fine job with it starting next year. I would like to have all the parents of the youngsters that will be in band next year also stand up. Now, one of the reasons I asked you to do that is that the Band-Aids, we mentioned that they have a meeting every month. We have about 8, maybe 10, 12. We really get excited sometimes with 20 members out to a Band-Aid meeting. And everybody that's sitting in this room is going to have band members the band next year, if you only attend, say 10% of you attend one meeting all year long, each time a different 10%, you can double that attendance record all the next year. I know you're here, so I know you can do it. So we'll give you that charge and try to get out and help the band-aids. They're going to need it. We did have many times this evening comments made about Mrs. Rogers. Some other things that were done that she did and she'll probably continue to do would or could use some help from other people. She spent nights ironing, sewing. She would go back when we was having a car wash, take her towels over, dry them, keep everything going. And she wasn't the only one who was doing this, but it was so obvious that she had a big job on her hands. A couple other people that did it and have done for this past year a lot for the band is Diane and Chuck Harbison, and we'd like to have them come up front and let's give them a big hand. And we're going to give them this centerpiece over here. And Chuck and Diane, if you would come up front here, and everybody give them a big hand. Thank you very much. You've done a fine job. We appreciate it. Now we're about ready. I've jumped again a couple of times and they weren't ready, so I think now we're ready. We're going to start out by giving what gifts we have up here. If anyone back there has a gift that they want to give out, if you receive a gift, open it up so we can see what it is. And if there needs to be any explanation and anyone's brave enough to give it, you're welcome to do so. We have one right here for Mike. Good job. Mike Rose.
On all the bus rides we took, I always stole Channing Tatum's elephant so I could get the system. Here's something that was given to me. We had a car wash down here at Henry's, and we had these
advertising billboard. And Kevin, would you come up and show them how we did this?
Big improvement!
Fit right in the cars.
Explanation. Put it back on.
Andy Riley.
It's medical leave. About 2 weeks ago, I was playing football with brothers and smashed my fingers. It's like kind of hard to play, so I kept asking for tape.
Louder!
Every day. What? Speak up! So now I don't have to worry about asking for tape anymore.
Mike Rose. Just got a nice ribbon on it. Maybe it is a game. Maybe it is.
I successfully went through every competition except for the last one without black sock.
And he's proud of it. That's what I don't get.
Kevin Harvey.
You gotta do this more.
Read the card, Kevin. Inside the card.
This is a notebook. And during intensive weeks, we all got kind of bored. And to liven things up, I started telling these, well, I remember back my first year in the band, and all these things about it was so hot during intensive weeks, the pavement boiled, and it snowed at homecoming, and all kinds of terrible things that happened my first year in the band. And the flutes on my side of the field loved it, didn't you guys? And so they gave me this to write down all my stories so that they can someday be published and they can say, hey, I know this guy. I stood by him in the band.
I don't see anything else up here. Is there anyone else that has anything that they would like to present? Come on up.
Debbie and I have some awards we'd like to present to the band front. Every year with intensive weeks of marching band, people get really close friends, and some people get a little closer than others. So we would like to present an award, which we're going to call the Snuggle Award, to 3 of our band front couples. The first one goes to Evelina Rogers and Rob Nurse. Our second one goes to Missy Wilson and Ron Lauer. Some of these being a little more obvious than others. And our third one goes to Candy Couch and Jason Shipper. During the year, Mr. Mink was really enthusiastic and tried to get the band to cheer along with the cheerleaders, even though they didn't like some of the cheers that we had. But there was one person that really did give her all and go along with the cheers, and we're giving her the OMB Best Cheerleader, and that goes to Mary Pickman. And we have one award that's going to go to someone that is not in the band, but someone who's always around to help out, especially when his mom is shoving a bushel into his arms, or making him run out to the car, or pick up uniforms, or do something like that. And we have given our OMB Band Front Mascot Award to Emmerich Rogers.
Left and right cutouts that she can cut out and paste on her shoes so she will know which way she's going.
Do we have any other gifts?
Not yet.
We always enjoy people who bring a bag full.
Here, Joe has one.
Because Sean and Kim were never on time getting off the bus, I got something to remind them to be on time when they go to college. They each receive an egg timer, and when this thing goes to empty, they are late. Now, the two necessities Sean has to have when he goes on a bus trip are a bag of nerds, a hat to have, and a package of straws. That's all right. He loves to twist them, and he loves to twist them and turn them and snap. These are yours. Snap. Can I call Chris Pearson up here? Chris acquired his name Scooter. I don't know the story, but I love to call him. So I just happened to get him his coloring book that says Scooter Pearson and Mr. Jones. Carrie Arnold, could you please come up here? Carrie also had two necessities she just had to have on a bus trip. She just loves M&Ms. She will devour them. If you give her, they're gone in 1 minute. And she plasters her hair with hairspray. So I got her her favorite kind, Clairol. I have two more and then I'm done. Christy Bender, you're the best one. Come on up here. Christy and her hair just kills me. She doesn't have to wear a hat, yet she worries about that hair more than I do. So I got her a mirror, and this is how she does her hair all the time. She just touches it. So I got her a mirror she can look at herself in. Stephanie always had to use my deodorant on the bus. I always ran out of my grocery store that my father owns. So,
What's the address of that, Dina?
so I got her own can of deodorant, but she doesn't have to use mine now. Keep it safe, This is my last one. This is my most special one. Okay. This is to Sean. We just love Sean so much. If you ever want a friend, just come to him. He's the best friend you could ever have. He stuck through us and everything, and we really appreciate it, and we will cherish him forever.
What is it?
Mirror.
Deodorant.
It's a plaque that says, Sean, you are very special to us, and we will always cherish your friendship. Love always, Tina and Carrie.
We have another one here.
Joey.
Since Mr. Mank is such a nice guy, since he is such a Garfield fan, and my mother loves to do things with her hands, I would like to present Mr. Mank with this thing.
just had an emergency. If Mrs. Rogers, you remember all those bus rides that I had clothes that wouldn't work? Well, I just had a pair of clothes that something went wrong with. Do you have a sewing kit? I'm glad I'm behind this podium. I'm not kidding. This is Garfield holding a banjo and a trumpet and a bass drum, and it says, "Music is my life," and that it is. Thank you. He's as tough as Garfield. We have some more?
Did you ever hear the television show, I think it was a television show, called This Is Your Life? Everybody ever heard a song like that? Well, Tina McGinnis, this is your life in the OMB.
I bet.
Okay, I'm the only cast change. I'm going to be Tina, okay? And everyone else is involved with this stuff. Tina, we have a chair, please. I don't get moody, it is you who gets moody. Watch out, Carrie. She always has the kind of dog I just adore.
Oh, extra. I love extra. Tina, you love extra too, don't you?
You know how much I love extra. I love it as much as coming the band practice.
That's another thing. Part of you talking.
I don't want to hear it. I'm band.
All the way
I
to...
can do what I want.
Oh, you talk all the way to practice. Tina.
You tell me. Tina. Listen, it was so cold. We were messing around, doing everything. We had to pee really bad. We were like, Sean, I have to pee. And Sean was like getting on my nerves, so I called him this one really, I don't care at this point. It starts with a P. It starts with a P and ends with an S, okay? There's 5 letters in it. The third one's an E. Okay, so Sean, I couldn't get what I really wanted, so I had something else, just like almost the same.
She said this, the whole band just went to the other side, and we were just standing there all alone, and there was like thousands of band kids all around us from all different schools. We're standing there in a section of bleachers that's just bare where the band was sitting. And all of a sudden she yelled this, and everybody turned around. There was a real silent part during the band that was on the field show, and everybody just turned around and looked at me, and I just went,
Love you, Sean. Okay, now, we have a band ride, and they go to J. Miller clinics. Well, there's this one girl, I don't know how she came about getting this name. It's really kind of derogatory. It's not ignorant or anything like that, but it has something to do with odor. Melanie Spence, yo, Snell! Snell, come here. Since I'm leaving and I can't carry on the tradition of calling her Smell anymore, I just want to make sure that no one else does. So, Melanie?
Oh, this is for you so you don't have to smell anymore.
I know you're probably about sick of this, but I have to go through with mine. I've been in the band 5 years now, and I really do think that some people need to be recognized once again. From me, I'd like to recognize them. I think this whole head table is just excellent. We couldn't have done it at all without you guys this year. And the parent support group that we have, I mean, I don't see any other bands that have a better parent support group than you guys. And I want to thank Tom Mitchell, wherever he is now, for the show, and the bus drivers for getting us there, and my parents for the last 5 years, and my sister. And I wanted to thank the managers and the drum line for the drumstick boards that I see every year. And I want to thank the dance line this year for their ability to stand at attention. That was excellent, and I appreciate it a lot. The rifle line, and I loved your balancing act with rifles. That was incorporated in the show next year, okay? And I want to thank Jessica for her hugs, Arlen, just for being Arlen, Amy Melnick for her smiles, and I want to thank all the people that have been with me for the past 5 years. And I want to thank the rocks that fell out from underneath the box when I was on it. But the people that I've spent a lot of time with are the people on the back of the bus, on bus 2, or out of OMB, bus M. I'd like Marge and Darren to come up. I'd like Chris Pearson, Kim Slater, Gary Arnold. Please come up. Dina and Stephanie. A big banquet at the beginning, our first competition. We all got together and we cooked at Chris Pearson's house and we had the best time and we brought it all on the bus, and instead of going to McDonald's we had our fine cuisine, but we used a ton of paper towel, about 3 rolls. And there's Marge over here who has problems with her contacts. And she goes to paper towels. Real. Hey there. Carrie always complains that she looks like Martha Washington when she puts on her little ruffles. So here's a picture of Martha Washington. Dana always wants my pot. Carrie has a disgusting little saying too about blowing chunks. And I always eat in Slater's onion rings after practice, so. No way. That was it. Miss Pearson, we really felt bad about this one.
This is Sean and me.
Kim and I, we got all the seniors flowers for the Fairview competition because we, just wanted to thank them for the great year. Somehow, somewhere between whenever we picked up the flowers and we lost, we must have lost one, and so, Chris, here's your belated flower because she didn't get hers. Everyone go sit down except Chrissy.
Yay, Chrissy!
Chris did a wonderful show for us on the bus one time. We were playing some songs and all of a sudden it was on. Here, I'll hold this for you.
Oh my God.
Drew on my sunglasses.
I believe that's all the gag gifts. We have one more back here. The reason I'm saying that's all, we're going to wind up pretty quick because they told me I was allowed to get it at 9:30. We started 10 minutes early, so I've got about 7 minutes, and we've got another little thing that we want to do besides this. So if you'll go ahead, is there any more that's going to do anything? Okay, this probably will be the last one.
At the Fairview competition, me and this other young lady started talking about bathtubs. Then she wanted to know how many boxes of pudding it would take to fill up. So Jennifer Nail, come get your first box.
Oh, God.
You have such philosophic conversations.
One other thing that we have for the program this evening, and like I say, we're starting to run late, and there's some of you probably don't want to stay. And I would like to ask Bob Nurse to come up. And the reason for this is, if you've noticed tonight, the camera back here, all during this year, they've been taking pictures of all the competitions, music in oil country, and a lot of things that I think all of you might like to see. So Bob, if you come up now and you can explain what we have here, We don't really have time to do the whole program, but I'm going to have him explain some of it, and maybe we could leave it run, and you could look at it from now during the rest of the evening. Robert, he told me to get you up here anyway. As soon as, while he's doing this and presenting it, I would like to have the band front come up front, if you would, because that's going to be the last thing we do when he's finished here. Okay, we're going to start this, and we'd like the band front to help you out and get all the parents involved in this. We're going to do this, and then we'll have them explain on the video. So you ready? Competitions for the last 3 years, and we've run it 1,000 times, and I'm going to ask every parent for the band's sake to say 3 little words. We've heard it dozens of times in the last 2-3 years. The first word is we. Parents, we. We. Love. Love. You. You. Now let's do it all together. We love you. And we sure do appreciate it. We're going to give it to Mr. Lewis to explain the program here and how we have.
Okay, throughout the year, my napkin said all the competitions and all the functions that we had, like parades and everything. But he got on all these different things. He put together the competitions.